Story. They used a garden hose to put out the flames that were approaching their home. As Eyewitness News reporter Josh Haskell explains in this exclusive story, this is not their first time battling a wildfire.
I genuinely feel safer up here. I don't think you can understand that, but I do.
Susan Sulser watched the Palisades fire approach her home Tuesday from her kitchen window, snapping these photos. The 85-year-old fought the fire with her 86-year-old husband, Winston, saving their home, just like they did in the 1978 fire that hit the Palisades. Their home is one of only 3 still standing at the top of their Pacific Palisades street.
I used the hose to control the ground fire and stop that end of the house from burning. I wasn't sure where Winston was. Couldn't contact him, but it turned out he was at the south end of the house doing the same thing, using a hose to keep the flames from touching the house.
I thought I was going to lose them both. I actually thought that I had when I was seeing the coverage.
The Sulser's son, Mark, who lives outside Seattle, knew his parents were unlikely to evacuate, even if their home was surrounded by fire. In addition to fighting the fire themselves, Susan and Winston Sulser credit the nearly 100 live oak trees that Winston planted in their backyard for helping prevent their home from catching fire.
I mean, they're in their 80s and they saved their own house. How do you explain this?
Tenacity. I mean, both of my parents are really smart people and are adept dealing with things. You build a life, right? And it's hard to imagine how you leave that. I don't know that that's a wise thing to do.
Winston Sulser was injured fighting the fire with his garden hose, suffering burns on his arms and legs that will keep him in the hospital for a week. But Susan Sulser says he'll be okay, and even without water or power, she hasn't left her home and has no plans to.
This is heaven for me, this location. And I'm almost 85 years old, and the remodel of this house was my job that I completed 12 years ago, and here I stay. Whether it's as a human being or ashes, I don't know, but so far it's as a human being.
In Pacific Palisades, Josh Haskell, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.